What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys once again with another deck profile. So glad to be back with some more of these. And speaking of some more, well, we take a similar word sounding like that to some more. The big bird archetype, if anything, because, now we have two big bird archetypes. We got Simorgh and we have Floowandereeze. So, Simorgh and the birds are flying together. And we have a new addition to Simorgh's archetype, which is Simorgh the Bird of Extermination. Which this bird is awesome. This is a really amazing addition to it. And finally, a level 4 our lower-esque winged beast for the archetype that's dark attribute. It has an amazing effect attached to it. So why don't we go ahead and we take a look at this deck. 3 copies of Simorgh, the Bird of Beginnings. 3 copies of Simorgh, the Bird of Bringing. 3 copies of Simorgh, the Bird of Extermination. 2 copies of Simorgh, the Bird of Calamity. 1 copy of Simorgh of Darkness. 1 copy of Simorgh, Lord of the Storm. 1 copy of Dark Simorgh. 1 copy of Mist Valley Apex Avian. 2 copies of Harpie's Pet Dragon. Fearsome Fire Blast, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, 2 copies of Ghost Bell and the Haunted Mansion, and 1 copy of Barrier Statue of the Stormwind. For the spell cards, 3 copies of Simorgh's Onslaught with 1 copy of Ebores, the Sacred Lands of Simorgh, 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity, 1 copy of Harpie's Feather Duster, 2 copies of Crossout Designator, and 1 copy of Call by the Grave. For the trap cards, 3 copies of Harpie's Feather Storm, 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, and 1 copy of Simorgh Sky Battle. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Salaman Great All Mirage, 2 copies of Farigite, the Burden Blossom, 2 copies of Harpie Conductor, 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Rugal, the Silver Sheller, 3 copies of Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty, 1 copy of Howl's Vulgar, the Desperate Doom Eagle, 1 copy of Shirag, the Ominous Omen, 1 copy of number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon, Titanic Galaxy, and 1 copy of Divine Arsenal, Zeus Sky Thunder. And that basically rounds out the main NES deck. And of course, we got a couple of cards on the side. Double copy, another entertaining copy of both Ghost Battle and some more Bird of Calamities. Copies of Simorgh's Repulsion, 3 copies of Magic Planner, a copy of Pot of Extravagance, and Tri-Brigade Revolt, and Anti-Spell Fragrance. And missing on certain that's supposed to be a Effect Veiler for budget options. Because of the fact that I have now discovered that Ash Blossom, even on her common, is like fucking $20. So unless they decide to reprint her again as a common, oh boy, you guys are gonna have to be maining fucking Effect Veilers and stuff now. This is crazy, and I'll talk about it a little later. But yeah, this is my variation of Simorgh, and I was playing the deck itself actually during one of my live streams, and it's a really cool deck. I'm not even gonna lie, it's a really cool deck. I'm actually gonna move a lot of monsters around while we talk because we got a new extension that is, of course, Simorgh Bird of Extermination. While this card's on the field, it's treated as a winner attribute monster and you can use each of its effects once per turn. If it's normal, stress to summon. When a winged beast is normal, stress to summon. During your main phase, you can reveal this card, and then immediately after that, normal summon one Simorgh monster. And if this card is normal summoned, you can send a Simorgh monster from your deck to the graveyard to add a Simorgh spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So yeah, this a big combo extender too. So if you want to play in various winged beast decks, it's dark, it's winged beast, and it's level 4. I don't think you can get any more better than that. Because this comes with Black Wings. You can play this with Harpies as an extender. You can work this with Raid Raptor as an extender. You can work this. I want to say you can work this with Floowandereeze, but don't quote me on that because I know some of their monsters lock you out of normal summon. So it is a very mishmash situation with this card. Um, but yeah, this is something that this deck definitely needed because you can send a lot of your bigger birds to the grave, and then their graveyard effects will trigger to send themselves back to the hand. Not to mention it sets up for Dark Simorgh, who can be set up in the graveyard. It sets up for Simorgh of Darkness, who can be set up in the graveyard, and it can set up for Lord of the Storm, who can send itself back to the hand. I mean, at this point, all you can really do is let Playwrizer in them, and then you really have some really stacked on stuff. Because Jesus, this is this is a really cool monster to do a lot of the things that it does. In addition to that, let's talk about all the other cards. We have the, of course, Apex Avian and Barrier Statue that go well off with Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty, who basically can bring out basically any of the Simorgh monsters in this deck, in addition to all these other big birds, just so that it has ways to protect them, and then you have all these additional spells and traps to really lock on to really lock down your opponent. Harpie's Pet Dragon. Fierce on Fire Blast, and I know a lot of people are questioning why is this here. This is basically here as another extender because of all your low level winged beasts. You can easily drop this card on there and then go into someone like Harpie Conductor. You can play Cyber Slash Harpie Lady if you're actually feeling up to it, because remember, Simorgh Bringings some Market Beginnings is level 1. This is level 7, so that's your 7 tuner. That's your level 1. And then you can synchro into the beautiful Cyber Slash. And then give your opponent more things to be afraid of. So Market Bringings is just another searcher. So you get some additional searches on top of that. Then you have some Market Calamity, which is just send cards to graveyard. That's ways you can flesh out your deck, especially when you want to send your bigger birds so that they can end up in the graveyard. Dark Simorgh, no setting cards, and nasty combo here with anti-spell. With your anti-spell, your opponent can't set any spells. Then you have Simorgh who says your opponent just can't set shit, so no traps, and you're locked behind your monsters at that point. So you gotta hope some of the effects can actually get through if the negation isn't real, which is going to be very real because you're facing both Apex Avian and Simorgh Darkness, who contribute a Winged Beast to, was it, when a spell trap, yeah, he can basically tribute another Winged Beast to negate the activation of a card and destroy it, which is great. And not to mention, if you tribute something for a Dark or Wind monster, he can set summon himself from the graveyard. Or the hand even. So, yeah, there's even more things to come. Simorgh the Lord of Storms. This is basically the upgrade to Simorgh the bird of, to, Simorgh from the structure there. Which is only being played at 1 because all you're really doing with this is bouncing stuff back into the deck. It's not like Simorgh of Darkness where it does negation, but it's still a very big presence onto the board. So, yeah, definitely something you can play around. And plus, also your opponent can't target this card with spells or traps if it's tribute something. So, yeah, nice little additions there. Um, Bird of Beginnings was the additional normal summon of Simorgh and Bird of Bringing. I already said Bird of Bringings. I forgot about. No, I said Simorgh Bird. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Anyway, let's go on to the hand traps, Ash Blossom, and Bella. This is just some additional things that you can have in your deck. If you can't get Ash, I did point out you can get Veiler because Ash's uncommon are like $20. I didn't know that. I actually looked that up one day. I was like, let me see how much this is actually going for. Like, why was El Exterio Yu-Gi-Oh was saying like, yeah, this is not a budget option anymore, and that's because Soul Burner structure decks are shortly out of print, and because of that, these babies are hotcake if you do find them, and boy, you know how those structure deck comments can be hotcake. And then Bella is just here. If you can't get Ash, Infinity Impermanence is also a cheaper version of itself. If you're willing to go get the Cyber Dragon structure decks for Infinity Impermanences, which are like $8 to $9 a pop right now. So until the structure deck goes out of print, I definitely will pick multiple copies of those up. Alright, and then Bella just stops stuff in the grave being added to the hand, or deck or extra deck. Summoning a monster from the grave, and then banishing cards from the graveyard. So, alright, let's move on. We have, of course, 3 copies of Simorgh's Onslaught. This is basically their Rhoda. You drop a Winged Beast to add 2 Simorgh monsters with different attributes. And now you can add another option of a dark attribute and a wind attribute. Pot of Prosperity. If you can't get this, Pot of Extravagance is your only other budget option. And sadly enough, even your budget option is expensive because Pot of Extravagance are still $20. Even in the gold rare, in the announcement of the gold rare that is coming in El Dorado. So, damn. We be damned, huh? Alright, but this card itself, you banish 3 to 6 cards from your extra deck, your choice, face down, and then for that number, you look at either 3 or 6 cards from the top of your deck. Um, and then you pick one amongst them, and then you put the rest at the bottom. You can't draw after you've activated this card's effect, and then all damage you inflict to your opponent is half. So, I mean, it's worth the excavation. So I think the only thing that can't stop, I think Ash can stop it because it's, I think so. Question mark. Don't someone quote me on that. But other than that, I think honestly, yeah, this is still a really good card. It's just really fucking expensive, and I wouldn't be surprised if the next reprint of this is just even more expensive. But yeah, if you need to, Pot of Extravagance is your opt to it. Another expensive card, of course, is Cross Out Designator, and this is just to help against counter hand traps. I could have ran a set, but I would have had to drop more cards, and I probably would have dropped Bester or Call by the Grave just to interact with that. But you basically banish a card from your deck. Um, that is the card that your opponent's activating, so that you can negate the activation of the effect and destroy it. So good on to it. And then your opponent can't activate cards or effects on the field or in the graveyard or in general with that card's name. So you got some good defenses there. Even Crossout Designator, Crossout Designator, which is why people are running 3 of this, and this card is fucking expensive. Evil Res, some more field spell, additional attack points, of course, and your ability to give additional normal summons for your winged beast. Call by the Grave to deal with graveyard effects. Harpie Feather Duster to remove spells and traps. You could play some more Repulsion if that's something you want to get into. But this is just true name for your opponent's side of the field, and Duster is backer removal. Speaking of Harpies, let's also talk about Harpie's Featherstorm, which is definitely a must-have in this deck at 3 because of the negation. And you are running Harpie Conductor. Like I said, you can splash in Cyber Slash if you need to, and then basically just step on your opponent. Um, this is still one of Harpie's best cards because it just has so many ways, so many different things that opts to it. If it's destroyed, you can get back Duster. You can activate it from your hand if a spell while you control a Harpie monster. So when Winged Beast, it's negation of any monster effects that your opponent tries to activate until the end of the turn. So it's just really, really good. Anti-spell, you combo this, like I said, with Dark Simorgh to force your opponent to set their spells. And you're not really much of your own, so you're not too bad with that. And you can combo this also with Magic Planner, which is an old combo itself. You would flip this on your opponent during your turn. You flip the Magic Planner to draw cards, and if you had another anti-spell, you'd set it just to message your opponent. Then, really good with Harpies as well because you can pop back row in combo with this. Simorgh Sky Battle. So this card I'm really only running because it's another extenders type of situation where you can play around with basically forcing your opponent to target the higher level winged beast. And since a lot of them have their negation effects, there's really not much you can do about that. And then there's not much that you can do when they're trying to run over the bigger birds. So definitely something that is worth. No, you don't have to run this. It was something I was teching in because I seen some other decks tech it, and it actually worked out pretty well in some situations. So yeah, shout out to some more Sky Battle and those who play it. With the extra deck, most of your monsters are just 3s because you're using the Pot of Extravagance. But you have Almirage if your normal summons get negated. You have Fairy Jeet to help you with your extensions into Simorgh. You have Harpie Conductor to basically sit on and play around with Harpie's Featherstorm. You have Silver Bullet to help you get back some of your monsters on your opponent's in phase. And just another really good combo to combo into bigger pieces. You have Simorgh, who's going to get out any of the bigger birds as soon as possible. It can go into your barrier statue or your avian if you need that to be a thing. Love this card. This card is amazing. It's actually many Winged Beast decks playing this because we finally have a bigger bird to actually get into. And speaking of bigger birds, because we're going to go into next 2 of them, we have Albus Vulgar, who gains 2,400 attack. Like, this is basically just to be made as a beat stick, basically. And as you can target monsters in your opponent's graveyard once a turn to shuffle them back into the deck. So, although you're probably giving them back resources, you're basically just clearing out the graveyard so that this thing can have 2400 additional attack. But if you're not willing to run it, that's perfectly fine. I'm just running it as some tech. And then we have, of course, Simorgh the Ominous Omen, who's just the Tri-Brigade engine for Link monsters in a Beast Warrior Winged Beast deck. Like, the Beast family got a big boost thanks to these cards. And Simorgh is just awesome into that, because when a Winged Beast or itself is when a Beast family card or itself is such a summon, bam, you can banish something, get it out of the way. And then if it's left and it's just moved off the field for the number of Beast family monsters that are banished, you can such a summon a monster from that whose level is equal to the number that's banished. So you get some recovery and some summon off of that. Number 38 is here for some shenanigans. Just want another additional extra deck monster to play around with. And then, of course, that can also lead into Zeus, who can be a big field clearer if needed. Outside of that, that's pretty much about it. I think the only other monster, or no, the only other card I haven't talked about was Revolt. You can take in Revolt to get back some of your winged beasts. That way, you can go into stuff like your Ominous Omen. You can go into some more and do some really crazy shenanigans there. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I want to say thank you so much to everyone for watching. I know it's been a while since I've recorded, but I'm finally getting back into it and have some time for it. So with that all said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps out tremendously. You can hit me up on social media. The links are in the description box below. You can catch me on Twitch, where I go live at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerJoe. And till then, thanks everybody for watching, and I will catch you all next time. HBJ signing out. Take care.